Hi Christine, Mr. McConaughey here. We're going to talk about stem and leaf plots, and just for any of my new students who get a notification about this video, you don't have to worry about this. We'll be doing this type of stuff in the springtime, so you can just skip this video. Okay? If you want to watch, that's fine. Okay, so Christine, stem and leaf plot. Okay, so we have our group of data here. Okay, and I've put it in order, but for a stem and leaf plot it really doesn't matter if we put it in order. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to find, you kind of have to do a lot of thinking about the data before you even start. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at this data in terms of tens. Okay, so 12, 18, 21, 23, 25, 38, 43. So we'll look at each of those in the tens place, and we look at this data in two different ways. And on the left hand side we're going to have our stem, and that will be the tens place for each of the numbers. In the right hand side we will have what is called the leaf, and you'll see why it's called the stem and leaf after we put all the data in. Okay, so let's look at these first couple numbers, 12 and 18. Okay, so those both have a 1 in front. So we're going to place a 1, and then our leaf will be the 2 and the 8. So if we look at this data now, we can look at it and say we've got a 10 and then a 2. So we've got a 12 and we've got an 18. Next we would look at the next few numbers here, the 21, the 23, and the 25. So what are we going to put on the stem portion? Right, the 2. And our leaves will be 1, 3, 5. So here you can see why we don't have to have the data ordered to get started. So this can be an advantage if we're trying to figure out the median of a large data set. You don't have to order the entire thing first, because you could really just write these down as you come to them, leaving places for the leaves, and do that. And maybe I'll do one here after we do our initial one. Okay, so what do we do here for this next number? We have 38. Do we have any other 30 numbers? No. So we're only going to have one with a stem of 3, and that will be an 8. And then the 4 and the 3. And that's our completed stem and leaf plot. And I know you're probably looking at this saying, okay, yeah, well, so what? Look, I told you we don't use these a whole lot. They're kind of nice to look at the median and maybe see, spot some outliers if you don't have your data already ordered. This would show us that there's really no real outlier data here. You could make an argument that maybe 43 is, but it's really not very far from 38. So when we want to look at this, and we could easily find the median of this data set, we would just go through and say, here's data 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if we have 7 data points, the median will be the fourth one. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would tell us the median is 23. Okay? So that's how we'd use this for figuring out some data. We could do this without having this data set ordered. Obviously I wrote this with the data set ordered, and you can see that the median is 23. Okay? So let's go ahead and just do another data set real quick, and I won't order the numbers. Alright, so here's another data set, and I just made these numbers up, so we'll see how this works out. Okay, so the first number, 52, what's our stem on that? 5. Okay, so it's going to be 5. I'm just scanning the numbers. That's going to be the largest stem. And 2, so we'll put that right there, just in case we would get a 51, and we might want to put a 1 right here. Okay, so I'm going to leave just a little space there. So the next one, 28. And we will put that up here, and 8 is pretty big, so I'm going to put the 8 out here. I'm not really sure. Once again, if you have the data not ordered, you don't exactly know how all this data is going to set up. Okay, the next number is 51. The next number is 52, and we would list the numbers like this so that you can see them repeated. Okay, we have 31. I've got 35. Let's put 5 maybe over a bit. 47. And we may get some big spaces here, but that's okay. 22 and 29. So that's our completed stem and leaf plot. And it doesn't hurt anything to have these empty spaces here. When the data set isn't ordered, you can't be quite so sure as to what you're going to need here. So let's go ahead and count up the number of data points. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's pick the 5th data point will be our median. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the median is 35. Okay? So it makes it pretty easy to pick that out. You probably wouldn't be able to pick that out just by eyeballing this data set here. Okay? You probably just couldn't do it. But that's the whole point here of stem and leaf plots. I hope that makes sense as you do the problem in ALEKS. If you have any questions, give me a call, okay?